I've been spending so much time knitting all these beautiful garments, and for the longest time, they just didn't fit quite right. I've spent a considerable amount of time recently analyzing vintage knitting patterns and getting into the way they've constructed them and adjusted them for their needs. And I'm going to sound like a broken record at this point, but I want to say this one more time. Every knitting pattern that is created based on some standard body. There's just no other way to do that. So even though I'm a big advocate for size inclusive patterns, they are not going to get you to the finish line. They're going to be a really good starting point because the more size inclusive pattern, the better the starting point for you. But to create garments that actually fit perfectly to your body, you need to make adjustments that simply no designer can do for you because they don't know your body the way you do or will after we finished this little series. So we're going to start with adjusting a sweater and its sleeves, because for the longest time I've been creating sweaters like this or this that are beautiful but just not quite right. And some of you had specific questions on how to adjust something if you have a longer torso, things like that. So I thought the perfect starting point is how to create the perfect set in sleeve and the arm's eye for the perfect set in sleeve, because there's something you need to understand before we get going. A set in sleeve and the arm's eye, they need to be matched perfectly, almost perfectly. You can always fudge it a little bit. So whenever we're doing an adjustment to the arm's eye on our body or our sleeve, we need to adjust the other one accordingly, but not necessarily in the same way. So I did some digging and research in the internet to give you not only the vintage perspective on how to shape these sleeves, which is surprisingly different in tiny little details that I found really fascinating, but I also dug up a system from someone called Sister Mountain on how to actually create both the arm's eye and the sleeve depending on your own measurements, so you can do that by yourself and they should fit really, really nicely all the time. So let's get started, shall we? So we're going to start with Sister Mountain's approach. I'm going to run you through what she's doing and give you a little overview over the spreadsheet she's creating. Then I will leave you to her devices, and then we're going to have a look at the tiny details vintage sleeve are doing differently. Because one thing we need to understand before we get going is basically what is happening is you have two distances that you're seaming together and they need to be rather similar, so you have an easy job in smooshing them together without accidentally creating a puff sleeve or writing up sleeves because the sleeve is too tiny. So you have the distance starting from your underarm up to your shoulder seam in the front and then over the back to your underarm. That is distance number A. And you have distance number B, that is along the sleeve cap of your sleeve. The sleeve cap of your sleeve is usually a little bit wider because you will have movement in your arm and you need to accommodate that kind of, or you're going to be really restricted, and that is not something that we want. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet on how to determine these distances for your measurements and your gauge. So you're going to start by adding in your own personal measurements and the ease you want for the design. And if you're using a modern pattern or even a vintage pattern, you're just going to use the amount of ease and numbers they are using and you're going to put them in here. It's only important that you're using your own measurements for the first four figures. And if you have a longer torso, for example, line number 10 is where you can add the distance compared to a quote unquote standard person. Then you're going to add in your gauge. And then there is two figures that you will need kind of a little bit of experience with. So if you've never done a sleeve set in sleeve construction, I would definitely stay with her typical or usual numbers. And that is the initial bind of those are the first stitches you're casting off on either side. That will be the same for the arm's eye in the front and the back and for the sleeve. And the desired length of armhole shaping is also something that is not drastically going to change the way the sleeve fits. So go with something in her usual range and get a feeling and get going. You're not going to do anything wrong by choosing 4, 5, or 6 centimeters here. Okay, and then basically the math is happening and she's taking you through step by step. There are certain areas where mistakes can happen. She always has little calculations in there. They will tell you if your measurements are true. So if the amount of decreases will match with your desired measurements. So if the numbers add up basically. And if they don't add up, she also has tips and tricks on what to do in those specific cases. I ran into 1 or 2 problems, but it was super easy to follow her approach. I just want to give you a visual idea of what is happening. Basically, you're at your bicep circumference plus or minus ease, depending on your style preference. And then you will need to start decreasing to shape that bell form. She's having cast off stitches at the top, which is totally fine. I've seen in a lot of sweaters. And she's kind of saying we're going to cast off for like 2.5 centimeters, and then we have a rather drastical decrease area where we're decreasing every stitch and when we're doing every other row. And at the end, we're casting off stitches, and the formula is just telling you on how to distribute these decreases, which is a huge help. Something I wanted to show you in comparison how vintage sleeves were designed. The approach is the same. You're coming from a bicep circumference that needs to fit in an arm's eye. The difference is on how they're distributing decreases and what kind of decreases they're using. So if you're having a look at the Sister Mountain sleeve, there are horizontal lines in there. The initial cast off and our cast off at the top. Our body does not have straight lines. What a vintage sleeve is doing is not casting off initially 2.5 centimeters, so let's say 6 stitches, but it's rather distributing these 6 stitches with drastic decreases over more rows. What I've seen a lot of times was either casting off three stitches, then 2, and then 1, or we're having 3 stitches and then 3 times 2. That is again a design thing. So there is no horizontal line. I kind of like that ever since I started doing that, even though I've done the Sister Mountain approach for the longest time. Then we're doing less drastic decreases, and then something really beautiful is happening in vintage sleeves at the top to create the crown. We're giving it this really beautiful bell shape that is even easier to set in. I'm not saying the Sister Mountain approach is more difficult, doesn't look as neat. I just like the way the vintage approach is even more mimicking the way your sleeve is, your arm is actually shaped. Because what you're doing in section 3 is you're casting off multiple stitches each row. So you don't have cast off stitches that will create a completely horizontal line at the end. So let's take my recent sweater that I've knit. Cast off 3 stitches on each side of the sleeve for 5 rows. Instead of casting off 30 stitches straight at the end, I would do 15 stitches on each side, distributed over 5 rows. And that just looks really, really beautiful. Again, both approaches are totally fine, and both approaches will get you where you need to be. If you have no experience in knitting set in sleeves, I would definitely recommend using Sister Mountain's approach to get going, to get a feeling for the numbers and how to shape a sleeve. And later on, have a look at the way vintage knitters did it, and have been taking it a step further closer to the way your body is actually formed. Now that we followed this approach, we should finally get sweaters that actually fit, with a perfect sleeve for a perfect arm's eye. But there's something missing, because where do we set in these perfect sleeves that we now created? And that is something we'll be talking about next week. So if this is content that you like, as always, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting!